I've got a barbershop theory.
By now, we've established that the most iconic and popular chord in barbershop is the barbershop 7th chord. In this episode, we will take a look at what is without a doubt the second most important chord when it comes to the barbershop style, and that is the minor 4 chord with an added 6th. Why is this chord used so much in barbershop? It's difficult to answer that question, but one idea could be that the minor 4 chord with an added 6th is the minor version of the barbershop 7th, and this minor 6th chord is known for being used as the penultimate chord in tags. Some of you might have seen this funny clip made by Jason Feeler. Or you might have sung the very popular tag called When I Leave the World Behind. That second to last chord is what this video is all about. Now, if we use the circle of fifths and use the key of C as an example, we can see that the 4 chord or subdominant is F major. That in itself isn't anything special, but as soon as we turn that major chord into a minor chord and add the 6th to that chord, it really starts to get interesting. The reason why this chord is so interesting is that it has the same qualities as a dominant 7th chord. The many leading notes makes it draw us towards the tonic, just as a dominant chord would. If we're in the key of C, the minor subdominant 6th chord consists of the notes F, A flat, C, and D. If we're moving from F minor 6 to C, the leading note F wants to resolve to E, A flat wants to resolve to G, C is a common note also strengthening the relationship between the two chords, and the note D also wants to resolve upwards to E. The interesting bit is that the minor subdominant 6th chord is more or less the exact opposite of the dominant 7th chord. G, B natural, D, and F. Here the note G is the common note and B natural, D, and F want to resolve either up or down. This sort of polarization can be explained through the concept of negative harmony, a concept where the circle of fifths is mirrored across an axis. In this case, B becomes A flat, G becomes C, and D becomes F, and vice versa. That way, we actually get all the notes from the minor 6th chord. This explains why this chord so often is used as the penultimate chord in barbershop, because it can substitute the normal 4-5-1 progression with a 4-7, 4-6 to 1 progression. Tuning-wise, this chord can be analyzed in 2 different ways. If we use what we learned from Just Intonation and look at this chart compiled by Jeffrey Anderson, we can see that the minor 3rd should be tuned 16 cents higher and the major 6th 19 cents higher. Let's take a listen. To many, this is a very familiar sound. Another way of looking at this chord tuning-wise is to treat it as a rootless 9th chord. In this case, this would be a B-flat 9, the subdominant to the subdominant. A B-flat 9 consists of the notes B-flat, D, F, A-flat, and C. And as you might have figured out by now, a rootless B-flat 9 is the exact same chord as an F minor 6. Tuning-wise, however, we know that a dominant 7th, or in this case a 9th, chord is tuned very differently. So if we instead treat F as the 5th, A flat as the flat 7th, C as the 9th, and D as the major 3rd, we now have 2 very different ways of tuning the same chord. The tuning of the rootless 9th chord becomes much clearer when we actually add the root note. And when we do that, we get the famous Westminster chord, as I believe it's called. So which one is your favorite? I personally prefer to treat the minor subdominant sixth as a rootless ninth chord because to me it sounds much more consonant and rings more than if we were to treat it as a regular minor 4 chord with an added sixth. As with a lot of things when discussing music, it's all about taste. There's really no right or wrong answer here, although some might call it a stretch to view a minor subdominant sixth chord as an entirely different chord. But as a music theory enthusiast, I feel like it's my responsibility to ask these sort of questions, however far out they might be. See you next time. Bye.